Before the dawn of time, before the creation of things seen and unseen, the Lord God was. The Lord God consisted of three in one, known as the Godhead. He fashioned his throne upon the sea of glass, brilliant beyond imagining. He fashioned a chariot of wheels within wheels of enormous and dreadful size, to which his throne sat upon. With the kingdoms of heaven completed,
Thus the heavens and the earth and all the host of them were finished.
Lucifer fervently led the worship of praising of the Most High in choral magnificence. The myriad of angelic voices rejoiced before the sea of glass and throne of glory. 24 winged cherubim and 6 winged seraphim positioned around the throne, chanting, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. Heaven is full of thy glory." 16 winged cherubim flew about praising and glorifying around the throne of God. The head of days thought it time to create for himself his most magnificent creation. He would create an expanse of space, time, and dimension for which this new creation would dwell. In this finite world, he filled it with the first spark of light, then stars, planets, and one with rich vegetation and sentient life. The angels stood in awesome wonder as God breathed life into his new creation, which was unlike any other creature he created before. It was made in the likeness of God, a spirit being clothed with flesh.
Then the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. God created man and woman in his likeness. Then God looked upon all he had done and saw that it was good.
God had declared that the angels would serve this new crowned creation. The angels bowed in acknowledgement of God's declaration and that they would serve mankind and watch over them.
God's greatest work.
Upon arrival, Michael greeted his brethren Lucifer and decreed what the Lord God had commanded. Lucifer raged with anger as he saw it unfitting that the most magnificent angel of heaven would have to serve a creature that was created lower than himself. Michael rebuked Lucifer for his poor judgment against the commandment of the Lord, but Lucifer lashed back. "If it displeases him, then I will ascend to heaven and set my throne above God's, and I will sit upon the mount of congregation in the sides of the north." Michael, shocked by his brother's reasoning, departed back to heaven. Michael reported all that had taken place before the throne of God, as Lucifer and those under him made their arrival. Lucifer entered the throne room of God as the angelic hosts muttered amongst themselves. The head of days spoke. "Lucifer, thou wicked and unappreciative cherub, what is this that thou hast refused to obey my command?" Lucifer responded, "I am Lucifer, the bright and morning star. It is beneath me to serve that inferior being that you call man. I will not obey your decree, nor will my angels with me." The Lord replied, "Lucifer, you have taken a great task upon yourself. You have elected yourself to be just as I am, and you have vowed to ascend above my throne in heaven. Make genuine your foolish threats by taking down your shielded wings, and let us speak face to face." Humiliated and powerless, Lucifer responded, "If it is man who you want me to serve, then I would rather serve myself." The Lord's judgment came firmly. "Lucifer, thou wicked and ungrateful cherub, you were once holy, but now you are stripped of your holiness. You have made a gross error in your freedom, and have vowed to ascend above your Creator. For this I will cast you from my presence, granting you a segment of time to reign and put a rest to the challenge of my authority. Thereupon you will be cast into the lake of fire for all eternity."
The partnership is lost.
But God makes a promise that one day a human will be born who won't give in to the beast. Rather, he'll overcome and strike the beast while being struck by it.
Okay, so for the rest of the biblical story, we're waiting for that human.
Cain, who's jealous and angry at his brother Abel. God warns Cain that he's facing a beastly urge called sin, a dark, mysterious kind of evil that consumes humans. But God says that Cain can rule the beast if he chooses.
But he doesn't rule the beast. He lets this urge devour him, and he becomes a beast.
And then after this, Cain's children spread their animal-like violence, and it leads to the founding of a whole civilization known for its beastly pride, the city of Babylon. And the fourth beast is so mutant, there's nothing to compare it to. And it's violent, leaving death and destruction in its wake.
I don't understand playing by the same hand, how you'll find something new. I don't understand playing by the same hand, how you'll find something new.
Oh, right, the throne that humanity left behind.
Right, there hasn't been a human who's able to overcome the beast and rule alongside God.
What happened here?
The final battle. This was the last battle between God and the forces of darkness, and Satan and evil have...
And I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll written inside, and on the back sealed with 7 seals. Then I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice,
"Who is worthy to open the scroll and to loose its seals?"
And no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll or to look at it. So I wept much, because no one was found worthy to open and read the scroll or to look at it.
This elect one is he who hath righteousness, and was named before time began, before the sun and signs were created, before the angels of heaven were made. He was. He shall be a staff to the righteous, whereon to stay themselves and not fall. And he shall be the light of the Gentiles, and the hope of those who are troubled of heart. All who dwell on earth shall fall down and worship before him, and will praise and bless and celebrate with song the Lord of the spirits. For this reason he has been chosen and hidden before him, before the creation of the world and forevermore. The wisdom of the Lord of spirits has revealed him to the holy and righteous, for he has preserved the lot of the righteous, because they have hated and despised this world of unrighteousness, and have hated all its works and ways in the name of the Lord of spirits, for in his name they are saved.
In the sweat of your face you shall eat bread till you return to the ground. For out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you shall return.
We are the bridge to a greater understanding.
Teaching people how to rule the beast instead of being ruled by it.
Okay, so how do you rule the beast?
Psalm 107. Thanksgiving to the Lord for his great works of deliverance. O give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, whom he has redeemed from the hand of the enemy, and gathered out of the lands, from the east and from the west, from the north and from the south. They wandered in the wilderness in a desolate way. They found no city to dwell in. Hungry and thirsty, their soul fainted in them. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he delivered them out of their distresses. And he led them forth by the right way, that they might go to a city for a dwelling place. Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness, and for his wonderful works to the children of men. For he satisfies the longing soul, and fills the hungry soul with goodness. Those who sat in darkness and in the shadow of death, bound in affliction and irons, because they rebelled against the words of God, and despised the counsel of the Most High.
The Lord God prepared himself to speak into being its inhabitants. God said, "Let us create the heavenly beings as spirits, just as we are. They shall be called our servants, and they shall be called the angels." He created the angelic host, numerous as the sands of the sea, and as immeasurable as the stars in the heaven. He created the high-ranking seraphim, cherubim, and ophanim first. God created the 6-winged seraphim, who are fiery, powerful beings reserved as the cleansing agents of God. He created 16-winged and higher-ranking 24-winged cherubim. The 24-winged cherubs shield themselves with their additional wings while in the presence of the Most High, for if they did not, they would be consumed like flaming fire. They stand on the sea of glass below the throne, and fly in the great hall singing and shouting praises. Amongst these angels the Lord appointed 4 to be paired with each wheel of ophanim that supported the throne. Their appearance is like burning coals in a fire, and their bodies crackle with thunderous sound. He set them in rank, file, and order. The ministering angels were placed under the ophanim. Over the ophanim he appointed the 16-winged cherubim. Over these 16-winged cherubim he appointed the seraphim, and over the seraphim he appointed the 24-winged cherubs.
Thus the heavens and the earth and all the host of them were finished. Then God looked upon all he had done, and saw that it was good.
Therefore he brought down their heart with labor. They fell down, and there was none to help. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he saved them out of their distresses. He brought them out of darkness and the shadow of death, and broke their chains in pieces. Oh, that men would give thanks to the Lord for his goodness, and for his wonderful works to the children of men. For he has broken the gates of bronze, and cut the bars of iron in two. Fools, because of their transgression, and because of their iniquities, were afflicted. Their soul abhorred all manner of food, and they drew near to the gates of death.